Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into an important topic that affects every working Canadian: how the tax system actually works. Whether you are filing your taxes for the first time or just trying to make sense of the numbers, I will break it all down in a simple and easy to understand way. By the end of this video you will know how Canada's tax system works, how federal and provincial taxes are calculated, why you might owe taxes or get a refund. Let's get started. Canada's self-assessment tax system. Unlike some countries where income tax is automatically calculated by the government, Canada operates under a self-assessment tax system. This means that you are responsible for determining your taxable income, calculating how much tax you owe, filing your annual tax return with the Canada Revenue Agency (CRA). Some types of income like your paycheck already have tax deducted at the source, but that does not always mean you are off the hook. If too much was deducted, you get a refund. If too little was deducted, you will need to pay the difference by the deadline. And if you live in Quebec, things work a little differently. Instead of filing just one tax return, you have to file two: one with the CRA and another with Revenu Quebec, since the province manages its own tax system. Canada's progressive tax system. Alright, so how much tax do we actually pay? Canada follows a progressive tax system, meaning the more you earn, the higher your tax rate. But you do not pay the highest rate on your entire income, you only pay the higher rate on the portion of your income that falls within that tax bracket. For 2024, here are the federal tax brackets. 15% on the first 5,587 Canadian dollar of taxable income. 20.5% on income over 5,587 up to 111,733 Canadian dollar. 26% on income over 111,733 up to 173,205 Canadian dollar. 29% on income over 173,205 up to 246,752 Canadian dollar. 33% on income over 246,752 Canadian dollar. Example: federal tax calculation. Let's say you earned $60,000 in 2024. How do we calculate your taxes? The first 5,587 Canadian dollar is taxed at 15%. 5,587 times 0.15 equals 8,380.05 Canadian dollar. The remaining $4,133, since 60,000 minus 55,867 equals 4,133, is taxed at 20.5%. 4,133 times 0.205 equals 847.27 Canadian dollar. Total federal tax: 8,380.05 plus 847.27 equals 9,227.32 Canadian dollar. Provincial and territorial taxes. On top of federal taxes, you also have to pay provincial or territorial income tax. These rates vary depending on where you live. For example, here are the 2024 Ontario provincial tax rates. 5.05% on the first 5,146 Canadian dollar of income. 9.15% on income over 5,1446 up to 102,894 Canadian dollar. 11.16% on income over 102,894 up to 150,000 Canadian dollar. 12.16% on income over 150,000 up to 220,000 Canadian dollar. 13.16% on income over 220,000 Canadian dollar. Now let's compare that to Quebec, which has different tax rates. 14% on the first 5,1780 Canadian dollar. 19% on income over 5,1780 up to 103,545 Canadian dollar. 24% on income over 103,545 up to 126,000 Canadian dollar. 25.75% on income over 126,000 Canadian dollar. Example: Quebec tax calculation. If someone in Quebec earns 60,000 Canadian dollar, here's how their provincial tax is calculated. First 5,1780 Canadian dollar is taxed at 14%. 5,1780 times 0.14 equals 7,249.20 Canadian dollar. Remaining 8220, since 60,000 minus 51,780 equals 8,220, is taxed at 19%. 8220 times 0.19 equals 1,561.80 Canadian dollar. Total Quebec tax 7,249.20 plus 1,561.80 equals 8,811.00 Canadian dollar. Quebec also indexes its tax system at 5.08% for 2024, which means tax brackets and credits are adjusted for inflation. Final thoughts: what you need to know. Federal and provincial taxes are calculated separately but combined to determine your total tax liability. Quebec has a unique tax system requiring residents to file 2 tax returns. Tax laws change every year, so it is always a good idea to check the latest updates on the CRA or Revenu Quebec websites. If you want to reduce your tax bill, talk to a tax professional about credits, deductions, and strategies to maximize your tax savings. And that is a wrap on Canada's tax system. Hopefully this breakdown makes it a little easier to understand. Let me know in the comments. What is the most confusing part of doing your taxes, and do you think Canada's tax system is fair? If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.